Good evening. Welcome to Live United, living, working, and playing together in the Monadnock region to make lives better. I'm Nikki Sauber, filling in for our usual host, Kelly Brigham Steiner from Monadnock United Way. Tonight's guest, we have Peter Hansel, the General Campaign Chair for the 2016-2017 General Fundraising Campaign for Monadnock United Way. Peter, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, thanks for coming here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, I know you've been on the show before, so welcome back.
Thank you.
And for those who didn't see the show last time, please share a little bit about yourself. I know you're a businessman, a community leader. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm not a Keene native, brought up in Connecticut actually, but have spent most of my adult life up here, working for a family business, filtrine manufacturing company, fifth generation family in the business, and got involved early on in the United Way for our business, maybe 20 or 30 years ago when we were over in Harrisville, and got a little bit familiar with what United Way does. But when we moved to Keene, and this was about in 1999, we started to really become more immersed in the local community. I think that was one of our efforts to try and do. And I got involved in being one of the division chairs in the United Way about 5 or so years ago, when John Hoffman was the general campaign chair, and saw some of the inner workings of what goes on at United Way and some of the more of the benefits that are provided by this great organization. So when it came, when I was asked to be general campaign chair, I felt it was time for me to step up and say yes. I did so with a little bit of trepidation because I hadn't done this kind of thing before, but it has been a great experience. We're making our way through the process, and one thing that made this all possible and made me willing to say yes was the incredible volunteer organization that United Way has behind it. I was stepping into certainly some big shoes after Beth Truman's campaign last year, but realizing that there's a very good organization, very well-structured organization that goes back 50 some odd years, and the number of volunteers that help make that whole process work made me realize that it wasn't just me out there. It's a whole team of people that are out there, over 100 volunteers that are working.
Mm-hmm. That's right, yeah. So you touch upon a really important fact that Monadnock United Way depends on volunteers to do its mega fundraising campaign each year. And as general campaign chair, it sounds like you have a whole bunch of volunteers that you work with and organize to get all this work done. Can you talk a little bit more about what you do specifically as general campaign chair?
Well, one of the first things to do is try to put together sort of a cabinet of people that are willing to work, and I was very fortunate that a number of them were already willing to do it, left over from last year. But I was very pleased that they said, yes, we'll do it again, and for those positions where we didn't have somebody, I was able to find somebody to fill that in. So we have maybe, I think, 10 or 11 division chairs that handle various parts of the campaign. And they, in turn, go out and recruit people to work underneath them. So it's a real network of people that are devoted to raising the $2,030,000 that is our campaign goal. So it's an ambitious goal, and it's been, some of the things that I've been able to do is go out and make personal contacts with some of the accounts that we feel are important in this campaign. Maybe some businesses that haven't necessarily contributed much or any in the past. We want to see them become part of the process. Important to note, there are 3 ways that we get money for the campaign. One of the biggest ones is leadership givers, people who just give because they believe in the campaign. If they give $500 or more, they become a leadership giver. They might be working for a company, they might be retired, or independent, not working for a company. So that's one way, and that
So
accounts
anybody
for,
can be a leadership giver.
that accounts for a lot of our giving right there. Another way is getting direct donations from industries or businesses, any kind of business that feels that they want to make a donation to an organization like this. And the third way is through payroll deductions, payroll campaigns, employee campaigns that businesses will allow to happen inside their organization. And that's a really important way for us to get money. So those three ways are the biggest ways. We have some other ways of getting some additional funds, but those are the three big ones.
Sure. So from what it sounds like, anybody can donate to Monadnock United Way, whether they're an employee, an independent person in the private or public sector, regardless of what their background is or what their position is.
Right.
They're invited to donate, which is great.
Yep.
I think the support of our business community is very huge in Monadnock United Way's success. It sounds like, especially with committed companies like Filtrine, where you work, that has been supporting Monadnock United Way for so many years.
One of the things we start off with in the campaign is what we call a pace setter campaign. So we get initial organizations to voluntarily agree to become one of the pace setters, and that gives us a kind of a shot in the arm before we even open the campaign. And we had a good group of pace setter companies this year, so we were able to start our campaign on a good, strong footing back on September 15th. But you're right; anybody can give. It's important to note that for every person that donates to United Way, there are probably 14 others that don't donate. I think that's the statistic that sticks in my mind. So there are a lot of people out there that could be donating to United Way. Either they haven't been asked, they don't know the process, they don't understand what United Way does. But there's fertile ground out there, I guess, for people to give, and we're trying to reach those people. In addition to going back to the people that have given to us in the past. Sure,
yeah, and as somebody who works at Monadnock United Way myself, I'm very aware of what a difference a donation can make. Whether it's $1 or $5, every little bit goes to support programs that really help change lives. Programs that support folks in need, whether they're youth or elderly, folks that support young families or adult caretakers who are caring for adult loved ones as well. Yep. And these dollars are actually, in a way, multiplied. Through our recent calculations, we found that $1 basically turns into $3 through the different types of services that Monadnock United Way provides to the partner agencies that we support, to other community agencies in our area. So each dollar really is more like 3 in terms of what we give to our community. Right. Yeah.
One of the things that appeals to me, both on the individual level and on the corporate level, is that the United Way allows, they provide basically fundraising services for all these other organizations. So from an organizational point of view, if you're working for a service organization that provides some of the services that Monadnock United Way funds, you have to spend less time fundraising than you would if this organization didn't exist. You'd be going out knocking on doors yourself instead of us doing it. From a business point of view, I don't have the time or the desire to have people knocking on my door from all those different organizations. I'd much rather say, I believe that the United Way can provide that function, and I can funnel my donations to those organizations through one organization.
It's like a one-stop shop.
It's a one-stop shop, and that's, I think, one of the founding principles of the United Way, is that they would help these other organizations in their fundraising efforts, so they can spend more time doing what they're good at. And I know in the review process, the allocation process that United Way conducts, that the money that's provided to them will be well spent, and it'll go to the best, neediest organizations that spend it properly.
Certainly, yeah. So donation to United Way is a very efficient way to invest money in our community. And recently, we've really seen the business community step up and understand that an investment in Monadnock United Way is an investment in our community. Monadnock Buy Local specifically is a great organization supporting local businesses that has really jumped on this bandwagon of understanding the value of donating to United Way. And recently, this past Tuesday was Giving Tuesday, a National Day of Giving. I know we, Monadnock United Way, partnered with Monadnock Buy Local to really make this day a success. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, we've been trying to do this for a couple of years, and this year I think we got a good thing going with Jen Risley, who's heads the Monadnock Buy Local. She put it out to her members that we're trying this effort. A number of their members, the Monadnock Buy Local members, put on a page for Giving Tuesday that would be going towards the Monadnock United Way. What we're trying to do with the Giving Tuesday, everybody is trying to get money out of Giving Tuesday.
Because it's an online only.
It's an online only
campaign.
event. It's a way for people to sort of give back after they've maybe spent a lot of money on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, whatever that's called. I think locally we call it Cider Monday, but but there are other things to remember in this season, and Giving Tuesday is a way to give back to nonprofit organizations that you believe in. So we had an effort this year. I think we raised just under $6,000 through our Giving Tuesday effort. And that's open to anybody. Granted, it's a short time frame. It's only 1 or 2 days that we actually do that. But we're trying to attract younger people that might be more internet savvy than some of us old people. And they're used to donating that way online. And we want to get them in the habit of looking towards the United Way for their donating dollars.
Yeah, the online campaign is becoming more and more popular. I mean, we've seen some national and international successes through things like the Ice Bucket Challenge, the ALS fundraising challenge of a couple of years ago, where those viral videos were all across the internet. It's becoming pretty clear that younger folks are interested in donating online. So it's great that United Way is involved in Giving Tuesday, among so many other organizations involved with Giving Tuesday.
Another thing I think it's worth mentioning is that we've had a lot of competition this fall for our attention. We all know that the political campaign was focusing a lot of our attention outside of our area, in addition to in our area. But now that that's over, people are starting to think, gee, how can I get myself involved in my local community?
Sure.
Because they might either agree or disagree with what's happening in other parts of the country, but they know that they can have some impact on what goes on in their own community. So I think we're seeing a little bit of that kind of sentiment this time of year, particularly this time of year when people are looking at their year-end donations and trying to figure out who are they going to support with the money they've earned during the year. We have started a challenge, which is a challenge match. And the way that works, we're trying to attract, again, new donors to United Way, or people that might have donated but wouldn't mind giving a little bit more. And those new and increased dollars would go towards matching funds that have been donated by individuals or corporations to fund this challenge match. We're about halfway. We've raised almost half of what we would like to do on the challenge side for getting people to donate towards that match, and then we will start tallying the matches that come in from the donor side. Mm-hmm. It's a little complicated to explain, but you have people that are donating money to have the challenge met, and then others that are trying to meet that challenge. Nice. So for the next probably close to 2 months, we'll have that challenge.
Wow. So how, if a business was interested in contributing toward this match process, what would they have to do?
All they have to do is contact us and let us know that they would like to be part of the challenge. The companies or individuals that do come up with the challenge money will be listed in ads and in media that we have, our website, and in our final event in the spring. Those people that have done that, or organizations that have done that, will get a little free publicity that way. I know they're not doing it for publicity, but that does provide some incentive for doing that.
And they deserve the recognition.
Yes, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So if this challenge match is successful, if 100% of it is matched and challenge accepted, so to speak, what would that look like for Monadnock United Way?
We're trying to, we have a goal of 100, raising a total of 100,000, 50,000 in challenge money, and then 50,000 to match that. So that's ambitious. It's more than we've done in the past, but we have to be ambitious. Our goal is a little bit higher than it was last year, and things are changing in the Monadnock region as far as how the demographics for giving have morphed over the years, and we realize that, and it's more and more difficult to raise the money each year that we do. So we know that we have to try innovative things and stretch ourselves a little bit. We've encouraged businesses and individuals to consider a 5 or 10% increase on their donation this year, and I'm amazed that many people have done or exceeded that. But there are still others that, some bigger organizations that might no longer be owned locally, or have changed the way that they do their donations during the year, have made it more difficult for those monies to come to Monadnock United Way. So we're trying to make up for that through other means and going after people who maybe haven't donated before or haven't donated as much as they would like to.
Yeah, and then looking more toward innovative ways of fundraising. I know that some local businesses are being very creative in the way that they're raising funds, either through their employees or publicly. I know, for instance, Deep Roots Massage and Bodywork here in Keene, and they also have a location in Peterborough now. They're doing a 10-10 gift certificate sale through the holiday season, where not only it's 10% off, but 10% of the gift certificates cost goes to United Way.
I just bought one for my wife.
Well, it's wonderful. I think it's a great gift and a very smart way to promote your business while also giving back to the community and doing great work. So it's just one great example.
There are still a bunch of campaigns, business campaigns going on, even in December. In fact, some of them actually are going to happen in January. That just happens to be the way it works for that particular business. So I encourage, businesses or employees of businesses that have a campaign going on right now, get involved in those. Some of the innovative ways that you mentioned that businesses sort of support the campaign, they provide incentives for their employees to become part of this. I know that a free parking spot at the business is always a good one.
Pretty hot commodity. Or
some sort of time off, whether it's a half a day or a full day of time off, either earned through a raffle event or something like that. There are amazing. This is one of the fun things about being the campaign chairs. You learn about all these different ideas that are going on at different businesses. Our sort of sub-theme this year was what is your local footprint? And if you drive around Keene, or if you have over the fall, you've probably seen some footprint signs.
Oh, I have
scattered,
seen those.
Scattered around the Monadnock region. No identifying marks on them, just footprints. So if you've seen those, that's what this campaign, that has to do with this campaign. And organizations are using that theme quite innovatively in their process. So what's your local imprint? Your local impact in the region is an important sub-theme for this Monadnock United Way. And the the challenge match is a way to double that impact. So keep that in mind as people are making their year-end decisions.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like between all these different creative ways of fundraising and really mobilizing our volunteer community to support Monadnock United Way, the dollars are coming in, and hopefully the campaign goal will be reached.
We're at about 70%
Wow.
right now. So
Wow.
we've got another 30% to go. That's always the hardest part to
Right.
get, but it's not too different from where we were last year. So I'm confident that we're going to get there. We've got great leadership. I think you're going to have Liz LaRose maybe on, as a guest on this program a little bit later. She's the new president of Monadnock United Way, and of course Kathy Harrington was pretty hard to beat, but she's moved on to other greener pastures, and Liz has stepped in very well. So I'm pleased to be working with her and be working with all the Monadnock United Way staff that's providing such great support, including yourself.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, and just so between all the staff support and volunteer support, I can tell everyone's working very hard to work toward this goal and really making it accomplishable. So, Peter, on a personal level, before we close, I just want to ask, what has been your favorite thing so far about being the general campaign chair this year?
I think one of the things that I get excited about, I'm a manufacturing company. I work for a manufacturing company. That's been my life as far as my work over the years. But getting out and seeing other businesses and how they work, and getting to know the leadership of those organizations, how excited they get about United Way, and what they do for our communities. Not just in the fact that they are innovative and provide employment for people, but they do a lot outside of those walls as well, and that's been fun to see and try to encourage as well.
Wow, sounds pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Well, great, Peter. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy fundraising schedule and work life as well to come here on the show and be with us tonight.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
All right.
So, audience, if you feel like donating to Monadnock United Way, you can always go to their website, MUW.org, or give us a call at 352-4209. And otherwise, hope to see you on the next episode of Live United. Remember to give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.